need to be able to let go of a lot of things if you want to live in integrity with your soul's truth. Hi, I'm Uma, and I am going to guide you through emotional literacy in my series of videos. And now I'm using the word soul because emotions are the language of our soul. Our soul tells us something here is not in alignment to what I want to experience in life, to the flow of energy I want to experience. So I give you emotions as my language. Please listen to me and stand up for me as the soul. Which means every time you feel emotions, it's your soul talking to you saying, hello, something is out of line. Could you please do the following to make us get into line again with each other? Soul and body as if they were two separate. They are not, but this is another story. It's always good to know something about anger because if someone's angry at you, maybe you know how to handle them differently now. Maybe you just know, oh, this anger is not because you did something to them and you were actually a bad guy, because in most cases we are not. In most cases, we just trigger them some information about themselves. And we can offer now some consolation. Like, do you need space? Oh, I give you a little bit of space now. Oh, I see you, but you really have to look at them, right? If someone's angry at them, what are they angry about? What do they need? Do they need acknowledgement? Do they need to be heard and seen in what they go through? All of the above. What do they need? You can provide that now because you speak anger. You have the information now. Just go and provide them to the person being angry. If it's a safe situation, right? If the anger is close to rage, and then go. Always stay safe because not everybody is on the path of emotional literacy. So what you can use this information for is mostly for yourself, to learn more about yourself and then to open up to get your needs fulfilled, which means always I messages. I, me, I am. I need to be seen. Oh, cool. Then I see myself first. I don't go out and say to someone else, you need to see me now. You need to hear me now. No, I'm seeing myself and I'm hearing myself. I am with myself. And that is the first step in everything. I am with myself. I am seeing my needs. I am feeling my emotions without pushing them away, taking in all the information that they have for me. Knowing that this right now is my soul talking to me, telling me either, oh, look at that, there is old trauma energy still in your system. Oh, look at that, you have to detox some old patterns from your past. Or, oh, look at that, there is a development, there is an evolution that wants to happen. And for that, you have to go into that direction. All that information I get provided when I have emotions, when I listen to the information of emotions. Let's go back to connection, because that's what anger provides, right? Anger does not only provide us connection to other human beings, eye to eye, but also to ourselves, because it's us. We need to understand ourselves. So the first line of connection is to our core, to our heart, and to our soul, to the actual needs, to the actual boundaries that would be in alignment with ourselves. The second connection is awesome because it's sensory connection to this wonderful body that we have. What do you feel when you're angry? Describe your sensations. Where's the heat? From where does it rise to where? If you don't have heat, maybe you're more a frustration person. Like, do you feel any temperature changes? Do you feel like a coldness or maybe a tension? Maybe something get hard or a body part just disappears. You can't feel it anymore. What is happening in the sensory realm of your body? And this is really important for emotional literacy because you learned to interpret certain sensations and put the name of a certain emotion to it. That is something you learned. And maybe it's not quite fitting anymore. Maybe you have more words than you had in your childhood. Maybe you need more emotion words and discover how they present themselves as sensation in your body. If that is the case, try finding on the internet a wheel of emotions because they have like really cool a lot of emotion words that you can discover, and they should be freely available in every language in the world. The social connection that anger provides, I've talked about. I already told you that it wants the connection eye to eye. And without that, we actually would turn mad. We would have psychological problems if we would not have connections eye to eye with other people. And that is something that you can look at for your own life. How many connections with other people do you have where the hierarchy is eye to eye, human to human? Not someone who has to tell anybody else what to do or what not. Not someone who has to take orders, but really here, eye to eye. Or at least provides that as a baseline. And then depending situations that shifts, but it's like a dance where you're always coming back to eye. How many connections like that do you have in your life? And then there is another connection. Bear with me. This is advanced stuff now, but I want to throw it out just to be complete. Emotions provide us the connection that we can have to everything beyond time. Because when an emotion comes up, most of the times it has a connection to our past. It has a prediction for our future. It is like this timeless construct in which our soul tries to guide us into something that would be better for the whole system that we have. But it's beyond the fourth dimension. We break limits of time when we are in our emotions and when we can read all the layers of information that they provide, which I will not talk about in this video because it is advanced stuff. We start small. If you want to know more, we will make more, but first we start small. And in this timeless function, we get the opportunities to build our own stories or rewrite our own stories, which is super important because our minds, our psyche, our beings function in stories. There's no way around it. So just to work with it instead of against it. So what do you find out about this emotion? What story do you tell yourself about why this emotion is coming up? What do you make out of it? This story will contain things from your past, will contain things from your present, will contain predictions from in the future. And how can this story change to really align with what you need? If you find that out, you master a lot of things, manifestation and stuff, because that's all. If you can take your emotions in a real advanced way, then creating a future that is aligned with you is way more possible because of the energetic charge that comes with emotions. That too might be for another video. Another thing that is really interesting about emotions is that they live in organs. Uh, Depending on the medical tradition, some countries have known this for a long time and some might get there in the future. But yeah, let's take this as an interesting theory to work with. So, in traditional Chinese medicine, anger lives in the liver, which is interesting because in German we have some sayings like that people have said for hundreds of years that connect the emotion of anger to liver. So there might be something generally human that just was ignored or put into folklore for a long time. But why put it there? Let's get it out. Let's see what this theory actually can help us do. Maybe there's something to it. And if each emotion sits in an organ and you have problems with that organ and you would work with that emotion, what would happen then? I'm like, ooh, this is my curiosity come out. Okay, let's dig into that. So if you have a problem in an organ, let's see what comes out. So anger would be in your liver. Boundaries and needs. And liver and gallbladder, they're connected. So that means if you have gallbladder problems, are you someone that is good with boundaries and that is good with balancing out energy? Or are you someone who gives too much, who puts themselves last, who does not have these boundaries? I would be curious. Please let me know. Maybe we found something here. I will put each organ that is connected to an emotion with the emotion in the video. And I hope that this will open up a new way to deal with bodily problems for people. Just to open up to the emotions and to see if I let this emotion energy flow and the flow of information and what I have to change in my life, if I get this energy flow going, what's happening to my organ then? Ooh, that is so cool. I have worked with that actually a lot with gallbladder because a lot of women have gallbladder problems, and there is a correlation to having no boundaries, putting themselves last, not being angry where the anger belongs, but just putting the anger to someone lower in the hierarchy. Sometimes people are angry at people who are lower in hierarchy, but they're getting the shit from above. It's like getting the shit from above and then shitting downwards. And that is actually normal, fearful human behavior. And we are invited to stop that. We are invited to say, oh no, my anger will go to where it needs to go for me to set clear boundaries and stand up for my needs. Because that's the only thing that helps us grow. Everything else is just a reaction. But if we want to take initiative and really change something, then it needs to go up. Just a hint, emotional literacy has a lot of consequences. So go for it. Change the world because that would really, really help.